We got two of the greats breaking some records right now. Obviously, Mr. LeBron James, he's close to 40K. Um, and also Miss Caitlin Clark, who's been doing her thing, about to break the college scorer record and everything. Um, but yeah, we're gonna talk about those things. We're gonna talk about a little something else. But let's get it. All right now, like LeBron he's already broken so many records throughout his career, and I've always been a LeBron fan. I will say I was always, but I definitely in the last obviously I'm a Heat fan. So obviously I became a little bit more of a fan when he joined the Heat. I always liked his game. Um I remember coming out of high school, I never was the biggest fan. I never really watched high school sports like that, so I didn't really know him that well. But um in my eyes, he's the GOAT in my eyes. Everybody has their opinions, their reasonings for certain things, what qualifications they use as a goat. But I think LeBron's overall body of work you can't argue with. Obviously, you got guys like Jordan, you got guys like Kareem, you got guys like Shaq, you got all those guys, and obviously there's some of the greats. And I think what people sometimes get so I don't know why people get so bent up out of shape over it. It's like you got great players at each of these eras. Like all the eras change. It changes. I feel like the NBA changes every like decade. It's always different. You think about like the 90s where it was more rough, more tough. Same thing with the 80s. It was. And you think about now where there's a lot of three-point shooting. There aren't many great bigs as there were like in the early, like 2000s, late 90s, whatever. You had Shaq and Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett and all those guys like that. And now it's like it's more to name, but like now it's just really like most of the bigs could shoot. Most of the bigs, what I'm saying, you like got Embiid who could score all over the court. Obviously Jokic who could score all over the court. You don't really have that big, like that Shaq kind of in the paint, back you down, big guy. So it's like the game changes all the time. And for me, I've gotten to watch LeBron's entire career from, like I said, even with the high school things. Obviously, I don't really watch much high school sports, but looking back on what he did in high school was obviously nuts. Rookie year, um, coming to Miami, winning his first championships, two championships. Going back to Cleveland, winning a championship. That coming back down from the 3-1 against the 72 win Warriors, and LA giving LA a championship. Um, I just feel like to me, there's nobody as far as I'm concerned. Like I said, I've been watching sports. It's like obviously like the middle 90s, and obviously I was a big Jordan fan. I think he's obviously one of the greatest, not just basketball players, but great athletes in history. But I think you can say the same about LeBron James. Everything he's done, he can do everything on the court. I think he's a solid leader. Um, and then having the fact that he's about to hit 40K is insane. And he's been through all these eras where there were the really good big guys, and defenses were different, and now he's like been around for all the big 3-point shooting era, kind of, obviously the Warriors and everything, and Boston when they had their squad, and now it's like he's still he's still going at a high level, which is kind of nuts to me. And I think anybody, even if you don't like him, everybody could say, "Oh, he's whining, he's a baby, he cries, and yada yada." And it's like, bro, like, do you realize? Do you realize that this man, what is he? 39? 39 4. Well, I think it's 39. And it's like you, he's still playing. Like it's not this isn't like some like he's at the end of his rope of his career and he's banged up and injured and he's just got one more last hurrah. Like LeBron's probably got a couple more years left in him. In all seriousness, and like it's just nuts to me. Like, and I've had the pleasure of watching this man's career, and I gotta say that I'm happy I was able to watch his career from start to finish. Whenever he does decide to hang it up, um, but like like I said, he's my goat. Period. Um, my favorite player of all time is probably Shaq. D Wade very close second, and there's probably Braun. Like I got those are like my three. I was a big Vince Carter fan, Jason Kidd fan. I love Jason Kidd. I love my shooters. My shooters like Ray Allen, Reggie. I love Peja Stojakovic, Kyle Korver. I love all my shooters. But yeah, like Shaq. I think Shaq has a because he's from Newark. I'm from Newark, New Jersey. I think that was big. I actually met him when I was like 7. He opened up the Boys and Girls Club here in Newark, and me and my cousins kind of went to it, and he was there, and he kind of like gave everybody a wave, gave a high five, and all that stuff, and he kind of dipped. At the time we got there, we kind of got there kind of late, me and my cousins. Um, but yeah, like I think for me, Shaq is definitely like my. I don't want to order it, but yeah, those like are my three. Like Shaq, Wade, and LeBron. Those three are probably like my three. Probably definitely I could throw Jason Kidd because I'm like I said I'm a huge Jason Kidd fan. Diana Taurasi is easily probably my favorite like women's player. Just she's in my like top 5 favorite basketball players ever to play. So it's like Becky Hammond, Maya Moore. Um, so yeah, like but I just feel like LeBron's body of work, you cannot deny that. Um, but everybody's gonna debate. Everybody's gonna have their reasons. We all grew up in different eras. It's the same thing with like when we talk about like music and stuff. And a lot of people like like my age are like, oh, this music's trash. And it's like, oh, like the music wasn't like we obviously the '90s. I feel like the '90s, early 2000s were just like a different era, and it's really good. But like I think about like the really like old school rap. I'm talking like 80s. And you sit back and you listen to some of that stuff, and I'm gonna be real. Some of it was kind of trash. I have respect for all genres of music, all eras of music, because I love music. Music is just like I'll listen to legit anything. I'll listen to something from today, but I'll listen to something from 50 years ago. Like I don't care. Excuse me, but like there was some stuff back in the day that it was bad. Like I feel like every era has its bad music. Um, but I'm obviously very biased towards like the '90s because that's where like era I grew up in, early 2000s and stuff. But yeah, like I feel like it's the same thing with sports, especially with like basketball because it changed. The game changes all the time. Football, you could say the same thing. Baseball, all sports, I feel like you could definitely say that it was just different eras, different times, different greats. Um, I think as sports fans, we just have to learn how to enjoy. It's fun to have debates. As long as it stays fun, doesn't get personal. I don't have a problem with debating and having a genuine debate or conversation with somebody. If you're just gonna literally not listen to someone else's opinion about a player or something, because at the end of the day, like these athletes, they can give two shits about us. Like also real. But and we shouldn't be getting upset over everything because I remember one time I don't know how long that was ago, but I remember there was a whole debate at a barber shop about who was the greatest player ever, and someone ended up dying. Like people were pulling out weapons because they didn't agree, and it's like for me, as much as I've debated with people about sports, it has never, and I repeat, never gotten that deep, that serious. Um, I promise you that. Like, I've never been to like in a debate with somebody. I'm like, man, I want to shoot you. Like, no, like it's never. And I've had some heavy debates, especially being a Cowboys fan. I've defended these Cowboys forever. But like, I just think that we need to just have fun, respect greatness. LeBron's easily, regardless of how you feel about him, if you don't feel like he's the greatest of all time, you can't say he's not at least a top five. Or to me, honestly, I think like a top three player. I don't think you could say that you can't say that. I'm sorry. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what you, I'm sorry. If you can't at least say LeBron's at least a top five player of all time, you are seriously not well. And I mean that in utmost respect. Um, but nonetheless, we also have somebody else who's chasing a points record. Miss Caitlin Clark. She's on fire, man, and she's officially declared for the WNBA draft, which is nice. Uh, which is it's good for the league. I think she's selling out tickets. Like her college games have been crazy. The media's been nuts about like following her around different games. And I was just watching like Sports Center. They were talking about how like the ticket sales are crazy, and like just to even stay at the hotels where she's playing in is nuts. Like it's good to see it. I think it's good for not even just like the women's game, but basketball in general. Um, she's officially declared for the draft. Indiana has the first pick, I believe, and if they were to get her, they definitely would definitely be back. Because Indiana and Fever have been kind of like slacking since Tamika Catches has been gone. Obviously, getting what's her face last year was pretty good. Damn it, I can't remember her name. I see her face right now in my head, but I can't remember her name. But she got Rookie of the Year. She's really good big. Like she's a really good big. I can't. I'm so mad right now that I cannot remember her name. Hold on. We're gonna find it. But nonetheless, it's 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 good for the game. I think it's really good for the game of not just basketball, but I mean, obviously not just the women's game of basketball. It just gives you that it gives the women's game that attention. And I think people need to like. I don't understand people who are just like won't even give the league a chance. Like I said, I understand if you just like not really into women's sports, which is okay. But like, don't sit there and say like it doesn't matter, all that stuff like that, because it does matter. And it's Aaliyah Boston. That's her name. I don't know why I could not remember her name, but she's really good. She's really good. And you add her to that roster, they have a solid roster. Kelsey Mitchell's still there. I know Katie Lou's there. What's her face? The small guard, Wheeler, I believe. Erica Wheeler, I believe. I think she made the All Star team last year. She's had a pretty good run, and like if they add her to that roster, they're gonna be a threat, man. They were pretty solid last year. I thought no, they were actually at the bottom. I think that's why they have the number one pick, Stephanie. Duh. But yeah, like Aaliyah Boston definitely showed that she's here. Like she's gonna be one of the greats in the women's side for sure. At some point. Um, but yeah, it's gonna be a big pickup. And Caitlin Clark still has a tourney left. She still got like you know, conference tourney left, and then obviously the NCAA tournament because Iowa's in it. Um, it's gonna be interesting to see. And I personally, as a fan of basketball, especially women's basketball, it's nice to see. It's nice to see like the even if it's just is her, he's getting some recognition. I think it kind of started last March with like the whole kind of back and forth between her and Angel Reese, which was really nice just to see some rivalry. And I'm a UConn fan, and it's really weird to see UConn with like 5 losses and not, and I think we're like 10th or something in the country. It's very weird, but I love the parity. I love the fact that it's more than just one team kind of dominating. I do like that. Like South Carolina's been like the staple for the last like I don't know like 5-6 years. They've been rocking. And Dawn Staley, who's another one of my favorite just players. I just love the way she plays. She's a great coach, great leader, and she always has her girls out, they're ready to play, man. And I respect it. I'm happy that there is more than one team. Like UConn just running with everything. No, it's actually like it's a nice little balance, and it's nice to see as a basketball fan, as apart from a UConn fan, as a basketball fan, because like I said, basketball is my favorite sport. I said it in a previous episode that basketball has always been my favorite sport and stuff. So it's nice. It's nice to see some parity on the women's side for once. But yeah, that's That's pretty much it. I don't think it's much NFL news. I know baseball spring's training has started. It's been nice to even just hear about baseball kind of starting. I've always had a little soft spot for baseball. I'm a Yankees fan, so yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for a baseball season. It's in the weather's starting to get a little better here in Jersey. It's like 45 right now, but the sun's out. All the that weird snow, the snow than sunniness that was happening for like a few weeks. It would literally snow, and then like the next day it would be like freaking like 40 degrees, 50 degrees, and the sun's out. And now it seems like it's starting to hopefully get spring's coming. You know what I mean? Um, but nonetheless, take a little break. I'm gonna talk about something else. But yeah, love you guys. I'll be back. I know I said I want to talk about something a little bit more serious, but I think we gotta need to keep the mood light. It's been an interesting day so far for some people that are close to me. Um, but like I'm doing okay for the most part. It's been a little rough, but I was able to go out and get some groceries today. I was able to go out. I heard from my dad, who's said he's hopefully gonna be out of the hospital tomorrow, which is nice. So I've been really worried about him. But I kind of want to talk about some gaming stuff. I want to talk about a few gaming things. I was recently playing Call of Duty yesterday, which I have not played as much of as like I used to. Um, I was definitely like I was one of the old school COD players. Not super old school, but I was like Modern Warfare 2 back in the day. I love COD Zombies. Um, but recently, the last like maybe like 5, 6 years, I haven't really been enjoying COD. I wanted to get back into it for a little bit more. There's a couple games I've been wanting to get back to into, but Call of Duty is something I always have a. I guess it's gonna be one of those games that I always kind of have a soft spot for, just because of its history and the people I've met through playing COD and stuff, and the experiences I've had. Like I used to play a lot of like I said, I play a lot of COD Zombies. I met one of my best friends, one of my closer friends, and a bunch of friends and stuff from playing like Zombies, Black Ops 2 to be exact. I never forget I met my boy Money playing Mob of the Dead, and he's been probably one of my best friends ever since. Um but I used to always play Extinction as well, the Extinction mode that was in Ghost. I know Ghost kind of got a bad rap, but Extinction, I met a few like some real cool friends from there too, and we stay on there for hours just playing. And I played some Warzone yesterday with a good amazing streamer named Chieftain Cool, who's amazing. She's like one of the only few people I'll watch play COD. Like, there's a few people I do vibe to. I watch the homie Stefski, another Steph in the world. Sitters chick. I like Gaku. I love his vibe. He's always got good vibes. I don't really like. I think I'm kind of past the era of the ragers, of the people who just like rage when they play games. Like it's cool to see like I watch a lot of the gamer rage compilations. Um, but I definitely have gotten past the gamer rage peeps. But yeah. Um but nonetheless, like I actually enjoyed the few games I did play, which was nice. Sometimes it's definitely sometimes the company you play with, the company you keep, I guess, they definitely help the gaming experience for sure. I always have I don't know, like COD is always one of those games that I really want to get into again, but I kind of fall off because I used to really be into Fortnite and PUBG. Then Apex came around, and Apex was something that took over a lot of my time. It's crazy that the game's been out for 5 years officially now. I've met some cool friends on there. Had some great memories on there, and it's one of those games that I like. I'll always have a soft spot for as well, because like as much as like even the seasons before, like the last like maybe like 4 or 5 seasons, I hadn't really been feeling it that well. This season has kind of brought me back a little bit, not like I used to grind ranked and all that stuff and get pissed when I don't hit plat or do this or do that hit diamond. I hit plat a few times, but diamond has always been something I've never done. I've been plat one. Had a little situation with the former friend where it kind of pissed me off, and I kind of it turned me off from it for a little bit. When I say former friend, um, but now it's like it's not. It's like I've grown a little itch to play it again, which is nice. Which is nice because, like I said, I love Apex. Um, Kind of same thing with Destiny. Destiny's like one of those games that even though I like haven't played it and I don't remember. It's been probably a good at least 8 months since I've even thought about Destiny. There was obviously some reasons it's two. It was just that the games are so big nowadays. They're like hundreds, like at least 100 gigabytes. I feel like most games are any AAA titles. Most of those games are like at least 100 gigs a piece. So it's like I didn't have the space for it. I had a friend recently who bought me the external hard drive for my Xbox, so I was able to play it. Shout out to my boy Jay Chave for helping your girl out big time with that. So I've definitely been able to play some stuff over again because COD was one of those games. It was really like it was a big game, and I just couldn't fit it on my Xbox, so I just kind of stopped playing it. Um, Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry, I'm kind of tired. But nonetheless, it's gaming has just always been something that has been a big part of my life. And for somebody who is very, as much as people get surprised, I'm very introverted. It's something that helps me connect with people. It's always like nice to find people who like similar things as you, and it makes it easy. And I try to tell people who have a hard time with finding with talking to people or feeling comfortable or feeling like they don't fit in is that when you're online, as far as I feel like gaming, I know obviously the online could be a weird place, um but when it comes to like the gaming world or even like the streaming world, they kind of go hand in hand sometimes. But there are streamers who don't game who I enjoy personally and communities I like being a part of. But nonetheless, I feel like streaming and gaming definitely bring people together in a way that a lot of things can't. Because at the end of the day, most of the people are there because they like a certain person or like a certain streamer or a certain game or a certain maybe like a music stream, a certain genre of music or whatever, like art streams, things they like that. And you're just there for that for the most part. And then once you kind of start maybe talking in the chat, which it can be intimidating if you let it be. It can be very intimidating. Um Once you kind of start talking in chats, starting to get to know people, it makes it fun. And then you start to like, make friends and I always tell people you'll always find your people. I've been blessed enough to have so many groups of people that I could genuinely call friends. The close ones, I keep them close, and um, they mean a lot to me. And they've definitely helped me through times where I would be at my lowest, and I'm not gonna lie, things that have kind of saved my life and kept me here. I said I wasn't gonna talk about anything serious, and I end up doing it anyway. I feel like that's my life a lot. Like I hate that it kind of comes back to like the sad kind of things. But I'm not gonna lie, that's how it's been for me for the longest. But nonetheless, gaming has is always a place where I could go to feel a part of something. Where people, you're not worried about your appearance. Is you're all together for either like a certain streamer or a certain game or whatever you like to watch, streams you like to watch, and it kind of brings you together and you find your people. And once you find your people, it feels nice. And don't feel like you have to rush because I remember like my first real set of online friends. Like I said, it was my friend playing with my friend Money back in the day on and COD Zombies, and then we started playing, NBA 2K and Fortnite and all these other games, PUBG, and I I haven't talked to a lot of them recently. I've been trying to kind of reach out and stuff because I kind of missed them because I met them like right after high school after I graduated and they were some of my funnest set of friends, and I love them to death. But like I said, I find myself trying to always connect with people, whether it's like no matter what, like going to people's chats and hanging out, being in people's discords and hanging out. Like I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that, and I love to like find a lot of new friends and because there's so many people of different walks of life. Uh, so so yeah, and that obviously goes for people who just like always feel like, oh, gaming, playing video games is for kids, and it's like, no, no, like gaming's for everybody. You're never too old to game. I had my friend Bluesy come in and raid me the other day, and she's like, I've been gaming since such and such, and I'm like, and she's like, when is it ever to a time to just stop gaming? I was like, there's never a time to stop gaming. If you feel like it's something that brings you peace, that blocks out all the bullshit that happens in the world on a constant basis, and obviously don't like neglect yourself. Self-care is also helpful. Like, get up and take a shower, buddy. Get up and grab a snack, take a walk. You could do that and still game, and it's fine. But don't make people feel bad. Make you feel bad for being a gamer, and it's good for you. And I will say that I don't know if I'm still here if I didn't have the people and the games that have helped get me out of ruts and make me, the people that help me feel better and make me feel included. So yeah, that's me rambling. I went on to like three different subjects. I do this all the time. I get on this mic and I just talk, man. And sometimes I just things I want to get off my chest and things I just kind of want to talk about. But like I said, that's it for me. It's the 1st of March, which is nuts. Dang, February went fast. But yeah, follow me on the socials, Big Mama Stuff everywhere. Check out the YouTube, which I believe these podcasts will be on YouTube. So if you aren't a Spotify listener and you're a YouTube listener, hello, thank you, welcome. I try to do these episodes every Monday and Friday. Like I said, we talk a lot about sports, but we also talk about other things. Like I love my games, I love my music, I love just talking about life. But yeah, like I said, follow me, Big Mama Stuff on all the socials, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok is Big Mama Stuff _. Come follow me on there. I've been trying to post more consistently. More. I kind of took a little break, but I'm trying to get back on the ball. My YouTube, I've been uploading my Detroit Become Human walkthrough, playthrough, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I played Detroit Become Human for the first time. What was that? I think that was earlier this year. It's been a blast. I do want to go and do a new playthrough because it didn't end well. But check out the YouTube and find out how that happens. We're slowly putting out episodes for that every Monday and Friday. I'll be posting on there, trying to post some shorts on there and all that stuff. We trying to do things. We trying to do things, trying to make some moves. But I love you guys. I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. Love your faces. Stay beautiful. See you in the next one. Remember to drink your water, check on a homie, and remember you're loved. Peace.